Hey y'all, welcome to Building 2266. I'm Campbell, I work for housing, and I'm also a student here at UGA, here with McKenna.
Hi y'all, my name is McKenna Tollett and I am the Residence Hall Director over Building 2266, and we're excited to walk you through the building today and give you an idea of what to expect before move-in.
Yeah, so we're starting here in the study lounge. We're on the second floor, so there's quite a bit of seating in here. I'm excited to test out all of these chairs. And then we do have a little warming kitchen just with a sink and microwave. And then we have a lovely view over here too, lots of natural lighting, I'm sure you can see. Great spot on campus. So yeah, we're just excited to show you around.
Yes, and this is one of our lounge spaces in Building 2266. There's a lounge space like this on both sides of the U of the building on floors 2 through 6. In addition to that, there's also going to be a lounge space in the center for the middle wing as well. It looks a little bit different, but it's still going to be a great spot if you want to find a place to study, hang out with friends. So there's plenty of space in the building to connect with others and find a place to hang out that is outside of your designated room.
Yeah, I know when I lived in the residence halls, the study lounges or hangout spaces were such a great place to not necessarily be in your room, but hang out with my hallmates or people on different floors. It was a great place to study and hang out, and yeah, it was just a great bonding area. So we're going to continue on down the hall, and we're going to stop by the bathroom. All right, McKenna, do you have any move-in tips? I know move-in is coming up here pretty soon,
which is super exciting. We will have about 20 move-in carts that people will be able to check out, but a tip I always give is if you have your own cart you'd like to bring or a dolly, it doesn't hurt. It'll make your move-in process a lot quicker. So that's always one of the big things I suggest. Some people are big advocates for if you have furniture in the space to build it and bring it here before you come to do so that it's not as hard to find a common space like the one that we were in to build it with everyone else. But on each wing, so there are 3 wings, it's kind of a U shape as I had mentioned before, there are the communal bathrooms. And so we are going to go inside one of them to give you an idea of what it is going to look like. But there's typically around 30 students on each wing. And so ideally, those 30 residents would be sharing a communal bathroom space like the one we're in now.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll look around. So we have 4 sinks here. This is super nice. Love the tile in the back. And then we also have 4 stalls on each side. So 4 of these are showers and the other 4 on the side are toilets. So when we shut the door, like this one back here, the door goes all the way to the floor, which provides a lot of privacy, which is great. And we also do have this ADA compliant shower back here, which is good to know. So the showers come with a little bench where you can rest your items. They also have a hook for your towel or clothes or whatever, and then the shower curtain. And yeah, it looks great. Nice and new.
Yes, and we have amazing residential building service workers who clean the bathrooms every day of the week. They even come in very early on the weekends to ensure that these spaces are cleaned every day and that everything is well maintained.
Yeah. Also, something that I didn't mention at the beginning, but please feel free to comment any questions that you have or any measurements you want us to take. We're here to do that and give you guys the best tour that we can, so let us know. I think we're good to keep on moving down to the room. All right. So we're going to be going to room 259. Here we are. All right. So nice big window. Yes. Love this space. If you've looked at any of our other halls, you probably noticed that it's really similar to Black Diallo Miller. we do have these nice stairs that have storage in them. Only 3 drawers. This is meant to be open. A desk with a rolling chair. And then we have this, which acts as more storage and actually locks. You'll have to bring your own lock, but it will lock. And then more storage underneath. A lot of students do like to keep this in the closet, but everything in here is movable, so you can rearrange your room however you would like. And then I also see a lot of students getting a tension rod and hanging a curtain. Totally up to you. It just does make the room look a little more cute. Some people care about that more than others. And then we have a lot of nice storage up here for some bins. That's probably what I would use. And then, McKenna, do you want to add anything about?
We have installed new kind of hanger storage here, and so the hangers will fit right perfectly on there. So it's a little bit different of a rod or a rack than we've used in the past. So we're excited, and we hope that that helps with all the wonderful clothing y'all will be putting in the closets. But yeah, as Campbell mentioned, everything is movable. So a lot of the times we'll see people who will bring desk hutches, and so they will rearrange the room as they see fit. Sometimes people move the desk closer to the window, so you're closer to that natural light when you're getting ready, or just in general, depending on how much you're studying in your room, that might be better. We do see a lot of residents who leave the beds lofted. They are twin XL beds, which each have the bed railings. And then a lot of the time people will put maybe a futon underneath, or a mini fridge, or a coffee station, whatever it is that you may be bringing for your space.
Yeah. All right, do you want to hold this over here for me? Thank you. Okay, so under the bed, it is just right at 83 inches. All right, and then from here to here. Okay, would you mind holding this, McKenna? Thank you. All right, it looks to be about 51 inches.
When it's lofted.
There we go. And then you can get this measurement too from the wall. It's about 3 feet. That looks good. Also, the AC unit is right here. So it's kind of built into the wall, yeah, which is nice. And then I could see some cute decor here. This looks like a great area for decor. And I know we want to get some measurements of the window as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, this looks to be about 55 inches. And then the height is about, let's see, about 68.5 inches. And then anything else?
The depth of that shelf.
Oh, the depth is about 16 inches. There we go. I could see a tension rod working here, great for curtains if that's something you want, but there are blinds. We just have them up right now, and you have this great view, which is awesome. Also,
there are outlets on each wall. So there's 3 sets of outlets on each side. I think the third one might be behind the ladder chest. And then there's also ports. It might be behind the ladder chest.
But yeah, a lot of great outlet usage, and I would recommend bringing extension cords, even though there are a lot of outlets, that can still be helpful for charging your electronics, or if you were to bring a TV or anything like that. Extension cords were definitely very useful when I lived in the residence hall. Let's see, anything else you want to add about the room?
There is a little button right here, so there might be times that you want to keep your door open, especially first couple days as you're connecting with others on your hall. But if you press that button, it will close, and then at any point you can put it back up and it'll magnetize back to the wall, which is going to be great for move-in. You don't need to bring a door stop. It's going to be easy to unload your cart and bring it into the room as you're ready to set things up. So we love that
awesome.
feature. It's very helpful, especially as you're moving in and out. There is a thermostat as well, so you'll be able to adjust it based on your liking. There's often a range though, so it might not be able to get too hot or too cool. That's just to maintain the facilities in the building.
And we've got two questions. One, can we pull the blinds down to show blinds work? And two, the desk is placed up against the wall instead of against the ladder. Is there still room to access the closet?
Well, we can pivot and see.
Yeah, we can move it. Like this way?
I guess.
Okay. Super easy to move. Oh yeah, you can move this under the desk if you would like. But yeah, there is room. It's kind of tight, but I could definitely see this working. Also, this isn't even pushed all the way back. If that's pushed all the way back, yeah, there's plenty of space here, I would say. And then pulling the blinds down.
No, if we're tall enough.
Yeah.
Because they are the ones that you manually
pull down. I mean, I guess we could get up here.
I vote Campbell.
Oh, okay. Let me hope you need a hand.
It's embarrassing.
No, she's great.
There we
Yay.
go. And attention.
Okay. Beautiful.
There we go. Just like that. Maybe I would recommend getting an ottoman that you can step on if you're going to do that, because there was a little trial and test. So there you go. Also, one more thing I wanted to touch on was trash and recycling.
Yes.
This does come in your room. You are allowed to bring another trash can if that's what you want. I know I had 2 in my room, both about this size, which was helpful because trash does pile up quicker than you would think. But do you want to talk a little bit about where the trash and recycling goes?
Yeah, so we are waiting for our compactor to be delivered, but it'll be, if you're facing the entrance of the building to the left side of the building, it'll actually be between building 2266 and Morris Hall. And so that is where you will take your recycling and your trash to dispose of it, both during move-in and throughout the academic year.
Talk about how to hang things on the wall.
Hanging things on the wall. Our go-to is always command hooks or command strips if you're mounting something rather than hanging something. We don't permit any drilling into the walls or the ceilings. I've seen people who have wanted to install chandeliers or other objects, but we want to refrain from doing that in both our new hall, but in all of our residential communities as well. So that is typically our go-to and our suggestion. If you ever have questions when it comes to move out of being nervous to remove the command strips, we can also talk to you about that then and see if it might be best for you to leave them up or to remove them yourselves.
And default bed heights or adjusting the bed?
So the bed will come lofted at this height, like what you see now. You can adjust it. You need a rubber mallet, and we like to say 2 people just to for safety and for help. You also can put in a work request, but that probably will be a little more hectic during move-in. So just be patient. But if you want to change it yourself, you're more than welcome. Just take a rubber mallet.
Rubber mallet is a key piece with that because you'll just be able to whack it right there and it'll pop out with a rubber mallet, and you'll want 2 people to be able to hold both sides. It helps if there's more people, they can hold the legs or the frame of the bed. I've had people email about bunking the beds. I have seen that in other communities I've worked in the past here at UGA. And so you are able to do that, but you would have to do that on your own. Bunking is not something that our staff would complete through a work request. So that's just something to keep in mind. But if it's regular lofting and unlofting and you want support with that, you can always submit a work request. Yes.
Ethernet.
Ethernet or a little connection point.
And then another question is there smoke alarms and sprinklers in here?
Yes, we do have a smoke detector right above us. And we have a lot of new things in the building, but I'm fairly confident that right here is our sprinkler system and it would pop down. But we like to have them more secured. Sometimes we have a cover that looks more like the smoke detector that's smaller over them, but I believe these are our new ones. And that's just because it's an added piece of security, because I've seen what happens when it gets hit, when it's exposed, and that can cause a lot of damage really quickly. And so they are more hidden. I'm just trying to prevent some of those instances from occurring. But they are in every room. They are throughout our common spaces as well, and in our hallways in the new building.
All right, we're gonna keep moving now.
Can we measure the desk real quick?
Yeah, we can measure the desk. Okay. So it's about 3 feet. 3 feet wide, and then 2 feet deep. And then its height is about, let's see here, 29 and a half inches tall. All right. We're going to keep moving now to the single-use bathroom, which is right over here to our left. This is just, maybe if you want a little more privacy, we do have this option. Very similar to our other bathroom as far as what's in here. There's no shower, but toilet, sink, mirror, all that good stuff. So yeah, this is also a great option for guests.
And then we also have phone rooms on each floor and throughout our lobby area as well. And so this is another great space that you can come if you want to study, hang out with friends. The views and the lighting are just amazing in building 2266. Windows were a priority. And so there's a lot of natural lighting in most of our lounges and phone rooms and common spaces. So we're super excited to see how residents utilize these spaces, and resident assistants, which I'm sure I'll speak more about, they will be ready to connect with you all, but they will also have programming and events for y'all to come to. And a lot of those will take place in those lounge spaces that they'll be utilizing on their floors.
Yeah, perfect. All right, we're going to keep moving downstairs. We're going to be looking at the laundry room and just some more spaces. All right. Do you want to talk a little bit more? I know you just mentioned resident assistants, but do you want to talk a little bit about like moving in and this way and making friends with your hallmates and just that process? Like, what do you do after you move in?
Yeah, so it'll look different depending on when you're arriving. I know our potential new members for Panhellenic will be moving in as our RAs or residential assistants are in training. But your RAs will have a community gathering that we will be posting on social media. If you're not following us yet, go ahead and do so. Quick plug. And we will have flyers up in the building and digital signage as well for things like community gatherings. And so that's going to be a great first point of connection with not just your resident assistant, but everyone you're going to be living with on your wing in the hall this year. And so they're going to have fun little icebreakers, get to know you. I know a lot of people like to see each other's rooms. And so we see a lot of that happen that night of like, can we do room tours if you're comfortable? But there will be also a lot of event programming as well.
Yeah.
Myself and my graduate resident, Beck, we will be having a Welcome UGA event specifically targeted towards the residents of the Morris Hall community and Building 2266, where you can make game day buttons ahead of football season. Ooh. We'll have a popcorn bar. You can make your own popcorn bowl with your favorite toppings. So we're always looking to to have fun and connect from a staff lens, but there's also going to be great opportunities to connect with your peers outside of that as well. But don't be nervous to come up to people. Everyone's going to be exploring the new building, hanging out in common spaces. We see a lot of that early on. And don't be hesitant to go up to someone new. Everyone's in the same boat, and everyone's going to be looking to connect with new people and to find their people here at UGA.
For sure. All right, we're going to keep moving this way, but I love what you said. I know I'm a rising senior, but I did live in the residence hall here at UGA, and I know that everybody was just eager to be there and so happy, so it was a great place to get to know everybody. So here we do have a kitchen. There are 2 ovens, stovetop. This is a fridge, but it is communal, so keep that in mind. We do have these awesome charging stations, so that's pretty cool. And then we have sinks, and this would be a great place to cook something, maybe if you want to make something from home, or just hang out with your friends in the kitchen. And then a lot of space to sit, hang out, do some homework, hang out with your friends, really whatever. But these communal spaces are great. And I know when I lived in the residence hall, these communal spaces were where I became close with some of my best friends now. So great place. Definitely utilize these areas. Lots of different seating and great views all around, like we said. You want to add anything about this area in general, or?
No, we typically see a lot of people playing games, or card games. I've had staffs in the past who like to bake with their residents, and so they might do a baking night ahead of like a TV premiere they're wanting to watch together. So we are excited to see how people utilize the kitchen space. But it is absolutely gorgeous, and I think it's going to be utilized well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to keep moving. Just to talk a little bit about where we are on campus. We are like directly on North Campus. Terry College of Business is our next door neighbor. Morris Hall is right there. The Special Collections Library is right behind us. So great location. I think this is such a great location. Also near Bolton Dining Hall, so you got everything you need right here, which is awesome.
Right down the street from all of those places, the MLC, not too far from the stadium. So super exciting. Sorry, these are an example of moving things that you'll see. Some of them were just returned to my office, which is right here. So if you ever need to find me, my office is located on the 1st floor. But y'all will see me throughout the building during move-in. So if you need anything, I'm a great person to ask and to stop. But we are entering into our amazing laundry room. We do have a ping pong table in here, and you'll be able to check out those supplies from our front desk, which you'll see in just a moment. Just in case, you want to, you can play at any time, but if you're waiting for your laundry and you want something else to do, you can utilize that. But we have 2 rows of washers, and then we have dryers stacked on top of each other against that back wall.
Yeah, lots of washers and dryers, which is great. You don't have to pay for your laundry. It's included in the housing fee. But you do have to bring your own detergent or anything else, any other laundry supplies. Also, I would recommend either getting a bag to put your laundry in or a rolling bin. That's really just preference. I had a bag, but I know some people have a very strong feeling about the rolling bin. So just get whichever you think you would like. And then just make sure you're setting a timer on your phone if you're not in here, because we want to be mindful of other residents and them doing laundry. So make sure when it's done, you come take it out, put it in the dryer, just so we can keep it moving. But anything else you want to add about this laundry?
It's on all of the washers, and there's other signage posted for how to utilize them, maybe how to wash certain things, but they do recommend liquid detergent or the sheets or the pods, not so much powder detergent. And so that's just something to keep in mind as you're stocking up on supplies for when you move in and throughout the academic year. But those instructions are up on top of the washers for where to put liquid detergent if you are using it, or where to insert the pods or the new sheets that they are making that more so dissolve. So, yeah.
And there are signs in case you forget or don't know how to do your laundry. There's signs up. So follow those and you should be good to go. Yeah. But this is huge. I'm jealous.
So much light once again.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And a great view of campus. I feel like anywhere we go in the building, which is great. All right, so we're going to be heading towards the lobby area. Do you want to touch a little bit about on getting into the building, security? I know we're going to pass where you have to scan your ID and just things like that.
Yes, of course. Security is one of our main priorities with university housing across campus. And so we've made a lot of adjustments to our residential communities over the years, which we have now applied. And so we'll have a single entry point, which is right out here. Carrie's going to pan to the main entry doors there. Ooh. But this is where you will come into the building day in and day out, all times of the day. This is where you're going to be coming in for move-in as well. Behind us is the front desk, and so we will have desk assistants stationed here if you ever need anything, if there's a facilities question, if you need myself or one of my team members for any reason, you can always go to the desk to get in contact with us any time of the day. We have an on-call system, and so there are always going to be 4 resident assistants on call in this building, and then we have a professional staff level on call as well. At the desk, this is where you're going to be able to pick up any packages that you have delivered. And so our mail room will start to be open during regular move-in. So it will be opened after Panhellenic move-in. And so you will come to the desk and pick up any packages. Security-wise, when you move in, at the first station you will see us at, where you're going to get your room key. You're also going to get an ID sticker that's specific to building 2266. And so we'll put that on your ID card. And that way we know when we have a fire drill and everyone's coming back in at the same time, we can easily identify that you live here. And the desk assistants will also often ask you to show your sticker if more than one person is coming through the main entrance at one time, so we can prevent tailgating and prevent anyone who's not a resident in the building from entering without being escorted. With those ID cards, it will be programmed for building 2266, and there is an access tap-in both right here, going to the main stairwell and elevator to the building, and where we just were with the main kitchen and laundry space. And there's one of those touch pads also right outside, and that'll get you into that main entrance that we showed a moment ago. Yes. So we often have food deliveries, and so when we were considering adjustments we wanted to make to building 2266, they had the great idea to install a built-in shelf. And so if you have things delivered through something like DoorDash, it will be placed here on the shelf if you do not meet the person to pick it up as they deliver it outside. So that is where that will be.
Yeah. So there's a lot of great spaces to sit, hang out, do homework all over the building, but especially out here. So do you want to touch on anything else related to building 2266 or anything about, the morale of the hall that we don't, nobody's lived here yet, which is so great, but we're excited to see it
we love the energy in the building to begin with. There's so much light and there's good energy. And we hope to carry that on as y'all move in and as people get settled into the building. And y'all will be a big part of establishing that culture that will be in the building throughout the year that you will live with us, since it is a first year community.
Dining hall, bus stop.
There is a main bus stop right across the street between Morris and Building 2266. I think there are a good amount of bus routes that do stop there consistently throughout the day. I get to see them from my office. And so that is where one of the main ones is. I know there's another stop down the street near the Arch.
Also, Tate Student Center has the buses are going through there constantly. So that's a short 5-minute walk if you need to get on a connecting bus. So that's a great place to also look for buses. Make sure you're looking at the UGA app. It'll show you all of that good information.
Yes, so you will find the mailing address on the housing website. If you go to Building 2266 and click on details, it is up there for you. We also will be adding mail labels to your check-in packets, and so we're going to have a resource to hand to you that will have your shipping address on there and our community Instagram, so that you are prompted to follow that, because that's where we're going to be posting about all those amazing events and opportunities that we'll have going on in our community.
A little bit about the process for moving.
Yeah. So for your main lot, so I believe hour you will be unloading, it's going to be the W02 lot that there's a road back behind Building 2266 in Morris that will lead you to that lot. That's going to be your primary unloading zone for the time frame and time slot that you signed up for. You will unload there. You're going to come here to check in first. We're going to be set up somewhere in this lobby where you're going to get that ID sticker in your room key. After that, you're going to go back out the front and you're going to be able to check out those move-in bins that we saw near my office near the side parking lot on the building. We aren't sure. I'm pretty confident that's going to be closed off for move-in, just because we'll have additional dumpsters and trash receptacles there. And it's a pretty small lot. But on the side of the building facing Morris, you'll be able to check out those carts there with our staff, or to join that wait list for that hour that you're unloading. Once you're done with that hour time slot, you will move your cart to the whole deck, which is just on the other side of the Special Collections Library, and you will come and go from that main crosswalk over there. Yes. Emails with maps were sent out. So all that amazing information should be there. If you're a more visual person, I know that I am. So that will be a great place for you to reference it. It'll come in handy as you're actually navigating the traffic that will likely be here during move-in weekend.
And just one more thing, remember that 15-minute time slot does not mean you have to move everything in 15 minutes. It means that's when you show up, get your key, check in, and then you have that hour while your car is parked in the unloading zone. So don't stress about that. That's just when you should show up.
Yeah.
Two more questions. Ethernet.
Yes.
Is for TVs, laptops. What do they use Ethernet for?
Typically, when I see it, it's typically for gaming systems to run quicker. Pretty much for the most part, most of our residents and students I don't see use Ethernet all that often. But that is when I've seen it. Occasionally, sometimes if you have a printer, that's not something I've seen in recent years, but we also, in the lobby, we have a WIPA that was just installed yesterday that residents will be able to print from. In hall, we also have these across campus. They're able to log in with their student ID information and upload things digitally, and then it's there for them to print when they're ready to do so for any class things, class projects, notes, or whatever they may need for maybe campus involvement.
And the Ethernet ports are also on one side of the room or both sides of the room?
One, yeah.
Just on one side. We also have Wi-Fi that's all over campus, so I know
Yeah.
I can walk around campus. No matter where I am, I'm still connected to Wi-Fi. So if you're just worried about your laptop or phone or something like that, there will be Wi-Fi here.
Yes.
How close will the parking be for the unloading zone?
I mean,
It's hard to describe. Yeah, it might be best to look at the map, but this road right here, at the end of this road, there's a dead end to the W02 lot that is there, and that is where you will be unloading. So like,
it's not that far, but if you're worried about lugging large items, I would either bring your own wagon or use the carts if they're available. But if I would definitely say if you have a wagon, bring it because that will make your life easier. Probably moving all that stuff in less trips. But I don't think the lot's too far. But definitely check your email and the maps online because that will give you an estimate showing you visually where the parking lot is. All right, so I think this is the end of our tour of Building 2266. Thank you so much to McKenna for showing us around. We're so excited for all of you to move in. So yeah,
we'll see you soon.
thanks.